52, a lot of students have a tendency to comma around people's names and titles. The one thing is that I don't disagree with putting commas around parenthetical phrase, but if you were to say the team leader after Riley Crane, right, Riley Crane, the team leader, or kind of expanding on Riley Crane, who they are, that's fine. But if you think about this, right, if you had the statement of Dr. Riley Crane, would you have put commas in between his name and the title?
No.
And that's the reason why a lot of students have a tendency to do this when it comes to parenthetical phrases, is that they try to over parenthetical phrase people's names. That's not what you want to do in the case of names and titles. The team leader, Riley Crane, basically what happens is that's like Dr. Riley Crane explained. Now, the reason why you don't want to put a comma after Riley Crane is because Riley Crane's the subject, explains the verb.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't want to break up Riley Crane from explain, the same way that you don't want to break up team leader from Riley Crane. And so you have the title, the name, and then the verb. What happens is they did something, they do something, they subject verb. And so that puts the pieces together there, is that you have the subject and you have the verb. It's a pure continuation sort of thing where, oops, crossed out the right answer choice. G is the right answer choice from the standpoint that you have team leader, Riley Crane, they did something. Team leader, Riley Crane explained that their plan was to build a system that encouraged collaboration, deliberately spreading misinformation, and offer monetary incentives. This parenthetical phrase is basically separation between the title and the subject. This puts a comma, in the case of H, puts a comma between the subject and the verb, and then F parenthetical phrases it completely. And so that's the reason why F, H, and J are wrong. You do not want to separate those.
Okay. Yep. I made the mistake of putting commas around Riley Crane.
It's understandable. A lot of students do. I get a lot of students that try to over parenthetical phrase people's names and titles. It's just one thing to be just cautious of and pay attention to specifically. It's a common mistake, and so you want to make sure you watch out for that one as you're going through.